I hope we are live here. Check it out. Yay! This is awesome. Welcome, everybody. This is what I don't normally live stream on YouTube, so here we are. I have the chat set up. The link to buy the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle is in the chat, pinned to the top. So if you're enjoying all the lives that we've been doing over the last week or so, we still have a week to go. We're ending everything on November 1st on World Vegan Day. So if you want to join up with the lives, please do so. You can find the lives at the link in the chat, and it gives you a list of all the days and everyone who's going live. If you miss any of them, you can go to the person who's live on their Instagram and check out their IGTVs, where we are all trying to save our lives on IGTV. So if there's something that you wanted to check out, go and head over there and enjoy all the lives that we have planned. There was I think there's like 250 lives that are happening between October 20th and November 1st for this bundle. Hey, I love seeing all of you chat in here. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have a special slide presentation that I want to share with all of you. It's called Mind Hacks for new raw foodies and for old raw foodies too. You might find something in there that really resonates, or just to hang out. Hello everybody, hello from Sydney. We've got London. Key is saying congratulations on your new ebook. Thank you. Yes, the new ebook is called Party Food, and Party Food has 50 brand new appetizer style recipes. There's like taco cups in there, pepper nori sticks, we've got green onion cakes, and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of good stuff happening. So yeah, let's see what else. Jennifer is sitting in the sauna while listening. That's awesome. Coventry, hello everybody. You are wonderful. All of you, thank you so much for hanging out in my lives and watching this YouTube and enjoying all the content. With the bundle, there are over 1,000 brand new recipes, and some of them are incredibly creative. Like, I'm just blown away by the genius that some people have with creating their recipes. And last night, Nate and I made the chicken balls from Enzyme 333 on Instagram. His name is Daniel McKinnon. His book is called Raw to the Core, which is part of the bundle, and we paired it with a Malaysian curry from Raw Chef Yin, whose book is also in the bundle. So if you buy the bundle, it's only $50 and it's only available till November 1st. The link is in the chat. There's 55 items in there, over 50 ebooks for you to enjoy, and they're all brand new. They're all brand new. I can guarantee you that no one has any of the books in there, because we all made a new book just for this bundle, and it's only available till November 1st, including the exclusive collector's edition holiday recipe book with 63 holiday themed recipes from over 40 contributors. It's a collector's edition, and you can only get it if you buy the bundle. So definitely support us and go grab that if you want. The link again is pinned in the chat. Anna says, just ate your pepper nori snacks. So good. Oh, they are so good, aren't they? They are delicious. I really enjoyed making those ones. It's fun being here on YouTube. This week on Instagram has been so fun. Aw, thanks so much. Yeah, we have been having a blast. It's like an online festival. So all of the creators are going live with each other, and we've got topics. We're helping you guys out, and it's been such a blast to connect. Jody is asking, how do we get rid of fruit flies around all the fruit ripening on the counter? That's a really good question. Definitely something that us high fruities like to experience, I guess. For the fruit flies, what we do, things that help us keep our fruit fly population almost none. Actually, here in Vegas, we haven't had very many fruit flies. The only time we did was that we had a pineapple that was really overripe, and they started to come from that pineapple. So the eggs for the fruit flies actually are already on the fruit when you buy it, unless the fruit has been heat dipped, which we learned from John Kohler. And the heat dipping, they dip it in extreme heat to kill the eggs on the fruit. So those that aren't heat dipped, most fruit aren't, but mangoes typically are heat dipped if they're imported. You can wash your fruit when you get it home. So peaches, pineapples even, just maybe soak them in a little bit of baking soda water or use a fruit and veggie wash or something to wash the fruits and vegetables. It's harder to do bananas because the skin gets all weird and brown, so it's harder to tell when they're ripe. So we don't wash our bananas, but for most part we'll do like tomatoes for sure. Tomatoes and peaches, plums, those kinds of things we will wash when we get them in. And also keeping a healthy rotation of fruit and vegetables. Like if things are going bad or they look like they're on their way out, put them in the fridge and try to eat them as quickly as possible, because that's where the fruit flies are going to come from. And finally, the third tip would be to have your house at a lower temperature. We keep our place around 69 to 71 Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in Celsius right now, but that's what temperature we keep our place at. It's nice and cool, so the warmer your place is, the more fruit flies you're probably going to get. So can't wait to buy mine. Oh, I hope you enjoy the bundle. Hello from Italy. Ciao ciao, come stai? Really needed some mind tips and motivation. Awesome, awesome. Are all the books raw? Yes. All of the books in this bundle are 100% raw vegan. We wanted all of them to be raw vegan, and they're all low fat or geared towards a lower fat lifestyle. So this is the only raw vegan bundle, and all of the top creators that wanted to be a part of it joined, so you can definitely go and check it out. See all the raw books that are in there. Click the link up at the top pinned to this chat. Hi, just thought to let you know I bought the eBooks. Yay, Jennifer. Oh, I hope you enjoy. Love this festival. Yes, the ultimate raw vegan bundle experience. Bought a pineapple this week. Instant fruit flies. Yeah, pineapple tends to harbor a lot of them, because the eggs can hide like in the little crevices, and pineapple has a lot of crevices that the eggs could hide in. So as soon as it gets too ripe, then the fruit flies come out, because they know that that's food for them. So need to chop it up now. Definitely do. Yeah, if you have ripe fruit, chop it up and freeze it if you need to. Hello from Germany. Thanks for inspiring videos. Because of you, I'm 100% vegan. Oh, Chris, that's amazing. Thank you for your compassionate choices and for making healthy choices for yourself. That's wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. Thank you for sharing. Vegas is in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yep. Yep. We moved to Vegas from Oregon. I'm originally from Canada, so I lived in Canada until I was 39. And I met Nate when I was about almost 38. So we met and fell in love. We got married at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, August of 2019, and I moved to the United States. We moved to Oregon, where we lived for 2 years, and now we're here in Vegas. The reason we're here in Vegas is because our landlord in Oregon wanted to sell their house. So we were renting it, and they're like, do you want to buy it? And we didn't really want to buy that specific house. It's not something we wanted to invest in. We loved it there, but it wasn't an investment or somewhere we wanted to stay for a long time. So we're like, well, where do we want to go? And there really wasn't anything in the area, and we wanted to explore somewhere new. And Vegas seemed the best. We love Vegas so much, and I have a piece of my heart, a big piece of my heart in the desert. So we love the desert. We love going out to the rocks and climbing, and I love the heat. So yeah, I'm almost 42, so only lived in 3 places my entire life. In Edmonton until 39, in Oregon for 2 years, and now here. So we'll see where we go. I lived there for 30 years. That apartment looks like one of those newish ones in the renovated area of town. I had a coworker that lived in a place that looked like that. Yeah, it's a newer building, and it's really awesome. We love living here. I'm definitely going to buy the bundle. Yes, all raw, all yours. Over 1,000 new recipes for $50, and it's only like this until November 1st, so please hop on and go grab it. Also watching from Germany, hello. If we soak the pineapple in baking soda, will it remove the fruit flies? I would give it a good scrub too, but I like to use a fruit and veggie wash. And try it, see how it goes, because you might need to use vinegar or something else, but give it a shot. What is the Woodstock Fruit Festival? Great question. The Woodstock Fruit Festival is a yearly festival where raw vegans come together. It's fruit-based, low-fat, and there's about 600 or so people who go. There's talks just like this every day. There's fitness. It's at like kind of like a camp in New York. You can go to the website, thewoodstockfruitfestival.com, and go check it out. Highly recommend going if you're looking for raw vegan friends. If you want to take a vacation where all the food is raw vegan, you get to meet people like Nate and I are going to be at next year's festival. It's normally the end of August, so you'll want to come over there. It's really fun. I have a friend that lives in Oregon. Oregon's beautiful, really it is. Did you start your YouTube channel after becoming a raw vegan? Good question. I actually started it about 4 or 5 months after I started being a raw vegan. And I started it because I was part of a Facebook group, and we were all raw foodies in there, or trying to be raw foodies, and I was sharing a lot in there, and people were asking me a lot of questions, so I thought I might as well just make a video about this topic and be able to just share the video instead of writing the same thing over and over and over again. So I started doing videos, and it just grew from there, and it's been a beautiful thing. I have the bundle from last year as well. Nice. Yeah, each bundle is different. So next bundle, Chris and I only do 2 raw vegan bundles a year. I am part of other bundles, like the plant-based bundle, and they do it a couple times a year as well, but that one has cooked vegan, and it's more geared towards fitness, which is great because each bundle has different stuff. And I think the next plant-based bundle, I will have my burger book in there too, so that's going to be fun. Sweet, I'm going to look into the fruit festival. I am new to raw vegan, definitely want to meet people. Yeah, you'll love the Woodstock Fruit Festival. And the UK Fruit Festival too, for those of you who are over on that side. You can go to the UK Fruit Festival, which is another really good festival that I love. So we are here now. So glad you started your channel and IG. Thank you so much. I am so happy that all of you are here with me and that you support me through this journey. You love me. And that's all that matters. I do get trolls like like anyone does, but it's all of you that I create these videos for, the people who want to learn and the people who really value what I have to say. And obviously we're not all going to agree on absolutely every topic, but at least you're here to learn and listen with an open heart and hear my perspective, because we all have those perspectives. So yeah. Let's see, I also have the bundle, went mostly raw after, no cooked meals, but a few ingredients that I eat are pre-cooked. I lost about 8 kilos. Wow, that's awesome. It's really amazing how the body changes when we start eating more or all raw foods. It's great. So, my friends, again, click the link in the pinned comment in the chat if you want to go grab the bundle. It's over November 1st, which is only like, I don't know, a week away. So it's less than a week. It's only 6 days left to buy the bundle. So you're going to want to go grab it. And we're going to start our slide presentation right now. I have a slide presentation that I shared at the UK Fruit Fest one year, and I really wanted to share it here for the bundle event. So we're going to go into the slides. I will disappear off the screen, but you will see and you'll be able to follow along with this. I'm going to try and keep it short so that we can have a Q&A at the end. Is there a river in the background? No, there's no river. I'm not sure what that could be. All right. Improved health so far. I love it. So let's head over to my slide presentation. Are you guys ready? I'm excited to share this one with you. Here we go. Woo. Do you guys see that okay? Let me know in the chat. Type a 1 in the chat if you can see this okay. Looking good, looking good. All right, perfect. All right, so let's start here. This is a little slide presentation. Again, like I mentioned, I created it for the UK Fruit Festival, but we're going to go ahead here and share it. We don't have the dehydrator on, so I'm not sure what that sound might be. All right, so here we go. Welcome everybody to this Mind Hacks for New Raw Foodies little presentation that we've got going on here. My name is Lissa. For those of you who don't know who I am, Lissa is my name. My actual real name is Melissa, but I go by Lissa because that's what I went by when I was younger, and I resonate more with this name. I discovered raw foods in 2004, like a long time ago, and I tried raw for a decade after. I struggled for 10 years after discovering raw foods because I was constantly under eating. I was eating too high fat. I would do raw for a little bit, maybe 3 days or a week. I think the longest I went was about 2 months, and then I wasn't eating enough, obviously, and I would binge on other things. I'd go back to other diets. I tried primal ancestral diets like Weston A. Price or Nourishing Traditions for a while. I did keto for a while. I was constantly scared of fruit. I was stuck in diet culture, really. So I struggled with sticking to a raw food diet for 10 years. Then finally, I committed in September of 2014. That's when I went fully raw. And I lost 70 pounds within 14 months. And the 70 pounds that I lost, I wasn't doing this for weight loss at all. That was not my goal. I had a lot of health issues. I had heart flutters, cystic adult acne, joint pain, really sporadic menstrual cycle. Like sometimes I'd have my period only like every 9 months, 3 to 9 months I would have one, and they were really painful. I had candida. I dealt with gut dysbiosis candida for over 15 years of my adult life. I've done fasts and cleanses and parasite cleanses and kits. I used to work at a natural health food store, so I had a lot of access to supplements and cleanses and ideas and doctors and everything, and I tried all kinds of stuff. But it wasn't until I went raw that I finally was able to find my balance. I healed my acne, my hormones came into balance. Now I've been raw for 7 years now, and I have had a monthly cycle every month since they balanced out around month 7 or 8 after being raw. No joint pain, my mood has improved dramatically, my gut health is so nice, and since this one I wrote 6 recipe books, but now it's more like 11 because I've got the party food book, the burger book, the soup book, meal plan 1, 2, and 3, dips and dressings, and I've got countless new ones coming, right? So plus in the bundle you can get the new party food book. It's in there, released new for the bundle. Been growing on social media with over 100,000 combined YouTube and Instagram following. Now it's close to 130,000. So I'm so grateful for everyone who hit the subscribe button and who follows and shares my stuff. I absolutely love each and every single one of you. And I enjoy teaching, empowering, inspiring, and creating. So moving on, our minds are powerful, extremely powerful, and we all know this. So if you tell yourself a lie enough, you'll believe it. But if you tell yourself the truth enough, you'll believe that. And unfortunately, we are taught a lot of lies, and we've been taught them, and over and over and over and over again, we hear these same things like low carb, fruit is bad, we need high fat, blah, 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 restrict your calories to lose weight, over exercise, all of these things, like we've been taught them so often, we hear them so often that they become our truth. But what is the truth? We need to start telling ourselves the truth and learning the truth and exploring and tell it to ourselves more often so that we eventually believe the truth instead of the lie. So Mother Teresa said one time, she was asked, what would you rather go to, an anti-war rally or a pro-peace rally? And she said, I will always go to a pro-peace rally. The thing is, it's all in the perception. It's all in the intention. It's all our views of stuff. Because an anti-war rally and a pro-peace rally are exactly the same thing. They have the same goal, which is peace, no war, right? But an anti-war rally is very negative feeling. Like, it's anti-war, it's angry. People are pissed off and they want change, and they're like, it's really gritty and angry. But a pro-peace rally is very calm and focused and peaceful, right? Both have a similar result. So we have to feel the mind shift. So feel the mind shift between the anti-war rally, that emotion, and the pro-peace rally. They're different feelings. So silver linings, always looking for the positive in things. So if you have a challenge in the raw food lifestyle, definitely look at the positives of whatever that you're doing. Go over your reasons why. This is really, really powerful and helped me a lot in the beginning, is to go over your reasons why. Why are you choosing vegan? Why are you choosing raw? Why are you doing these things? And we're gonna go more into detail about the reward cycle later on, but your reasons why will really help keep you focused. Boxing yourself into a label is also a really predominant thing in the raw vegan community. People identify with being raw vegan, so they're like, I am a raw vegan, or they introduce themselves, hi, I'm Lissa, I am a raw vegan. But we are so much more than the label, and a lot of people, like I said, get stuck in the label and they really identify with it. So if they happened to eat cooked food or what have you, they feel guilty and they feel like they're not good enough or what have you. And to break free from that is pretty simple, but it takes work. All you have to do is think, I can eat anything I want. I can choose anything I want. I am free to eat whatever I want, but what do I truly want? What is it that I really want? I want health, I want empowerment, I want self-pride, I want to know that I'm doing good for my body. I want to feel hydrated and healthy and abundant and full of energy. I want these things. So you have to break free from the label. Instead of saying I can't have this and I can't have that, say I can have anything I want, but I choose raw because that's what I want to feel my best. Old traditional dieting advice does not work with raw. So again, this is the lie that we've been told. We need to restrict our calories to lose weight. We need to eat high fat. We have to eat low carb. We're scared of fruit, sugar. We need to over-exercise to lose weight. All these traditional dieting advice tips don't work with a raw diet, especially things like the trendy intermittent fasting. I know there's raw foodies that do it, and I'm not casting shade on it, but the intermittent fasting trend started with the low carb people because they needed to only eat a certain amount of calories in a day, and they start doing the 1 meal a day thing. And it's because they're eating foods that are super high calorie, and they have to force themselves to stay within a window so they're not overeating all throughout the day. But on a raw diet, you don't need to. Once you release the old foods, the traditional classic foods that we grew up with, once you release that, you can release the old dieting traditional advice and the trends. You can release the trends, you can release all of that, because the raw food is really hydrating and beautiful. Affirmations are severely underused as well. Thinking and telling yourself these things, they are very powerful. The power is in the consistency though. You can tell yourself these things all the time, but if you take weeks off or breaks, then it's not going to be as effective as if you do it every single day. So find some affirmations that really help you, saying, I choose raw vegan foods. I want to be healthy. I am healthy. I want these things, and really help with that. So the Bugatti La Voiture Noire is worth $18 million. It's the most expensive vehicle on the planet. Now, if you were given this vehicle, you would probably take the utmost care of it. You would put the proper fuel into it. You would make sure that it was maintained properly. And we value these things. We value these things because they have a price tag on it. And unfortunately, our bodies don't have a price tag because they are priceless. And we've been giving these bodies as a gift, a free gift for us to live this life. But we tend not to value things that we get for free. So we need to look at our bodies as something incredibly, incredibly priceless and treat ourselves with the utmost respect. So where is your focus? Where is your focus? One day at a time. You guys can still see everything's going good? Everything's going good? Just want to double check on that. But where's your focus? So my focus in the beginning, one day at a time, was the key to having a proper day and making sure that I stayed on track. My focus was so important. And one day at a time really helped. So I'd wake up in the morning and I would say, today I choose raw vegan food. That's what I'm doing today. If I have a craving, obviously it's because I'm not eating enough. But if I have a craving, I'll say I'll have that another time. But today is the day that I'm being raw vegan. And then you just wake up the same time tomorrow and you do it all over again. You keep saying one day at a time, because one day at a time helps with the overwhelm. Go over your reasons again. Keep going over your reasons. When you wake up, say, today I choose raw vegan, and go over your reasons why you're doing this. You choose anti-war or pro-peace when you wake up in the morning. You choose to be negative or struggles, or you can choose pro-peace and find the silver lining and stuff. So there's this one, it's I can't versus I choose not to. So when I first started, I had a lot of people saying, you can't have that, and I can't give this to you because you can't eat that. Or somebody would ask me if I wanted it, and I'd be like, well, I can't have that. But it's not about what you can't have, because you can have anything you want. Again, breaking free from the label. You can have anything you want, but you choose not to. When you say you can't have something, like if I said I can't have pizza, that puts pizza in control. But if I say I choose not to have pizza, that puts me in control. So again, it's the anti-war or pro-peace, right? You want to switch the opposite and say things differently so that it feels more like you're in control. Now, another one that I found is some people identify with their disease versus just struggling with it. So this is another contrast. Some people will say, I am Lissa, I have this disease, and they identify so much with that disease. Whereas instead they could say, I am Lissa and I'm struggling with this thing, but I'm on my way to healing. So really changing the mindset on that. Restriction versus appropriate. This is a good one because a lot of people say that my lifestyle is very restrictive. However, I eat more plant foods now than I ever have in my entire life. I eat over 80 different varieties. Nate and I actually wrote a list one time. It was like 83 different plant varieties that we ate in a week. So we eat a lot of plant variety. They say that if you eat a minimum of 30 different plant foods a week, you have one of the strongest gut microbiomes, and only 3% of North Americans eat the RDA of fiber every day. So we really need to work on increasing our fiber and our variety. So restriction, people think it's restrictive, but I'm just eating appropriately. Like people will say, oh, I'm restricting my fats because I'm eating a low-fat diet, but I'm actually not restricting my fats. I'm actually eating an appropriate amount of fats. And I like to say appropriate amount because for the human body, the best that I have seen, and after being in the natural health industry for over 20 years now, the best I've seen that has the most success is a low-fat diet, whether it's raw or not. Vegan, obviously, but low fat is the key, and high raw obviously is more hydrating, it's more energetic, it's more there's different nutrients and fibers and stuff. So restriction versus appropriate. Perception shift. So let's go into some perception shifts. Abstinence. A lot of people say that abstinence is restrictive again, but abstinence is actually really freeing. And I went sober when I went raw. So I've been sober for 7 years now, sober alcohol. And I used to have a lot of problems with alcohol. I would buy it and hide it in my desk and hide it in my closet. And my husband at the time had no idea that I was drinking a lot. And he would go out for work and I would stay home and do my photography business stuff. And I would drink while he was out. And then when he got back, I would open 2 fresh ones and take a sip so that he wouldn't smell it on my breath. So I'd just pretend that when he got home, I'd open 2 for us. I'd be like, hey, I opened you something, even though I'd already drank a bunch during the day. So I was having issues with it, and I wanted to release that. So abstinence is actually a loving thing, and it's really your perception of abstinence, because abstinence can be restrictive if that's your mindset around it, but abstinence can be freeing if that's your mindset around it. You choose the mindset around these words because we don't have other words, really. I mean, the English language is pretty limited in words. Like another one that we just talked about with Chris Kendall the other day was obsession, because there's two different sides. There's the anti-war or the pro-peace side. Same thing with obsession, is you can either be obsessed to the point where you end up in an eating disorder because you're so obsessed with being pure and perfect and cleansed and detoxed and stuff like that, or you can be obsessed in a good way where you love getting creative in the kitchen, you love the way raw foods make you feel, you want to share that with people, and you eating abundantly and lots of fiber and you're really enjoying the lifestyle. You can be obsessed with that without being negative. So it really is a perception shift. Moderation is another one. Moderation, all things in moderation. That's what I always heard my entire life. Another lie that I told myself over and over and over again, just to justify the foods that I already knew shouldn't be in my body. I always would use that. So if you have to use the word moderation, really ask yourself, why are you using the word moderation? Is it because you're justifying the stuff that you already know you shouldn't eat? Like you go to a party and you're like, well, I can have a piece of cake in moderation. Are you using it as a justification? That's the thing. Like for me now, moderation is buying $16 pineapples from Hawaii or going out and getting a $40 durian, for example. That's moderation to me now. It's like those treats. It's still fruit. It's still healthy and it's plant-based raw food, but it's a treat because it costs a lot of money, or I don't have it very often. Those kinds of things are now moderation for me because it's not about the food, it's about the finances or if I can get it or what have you. So moderation, really look at why you're using the word moderation if it's a justification. Another one that is a standard justification is transition. So people will transition into a raw diet, but they use that word as another justification. So you're going to, say you're trying to be vegan, just vegan, not even raw, and you go to a restaurant with your friend and there's cheese on the salad that you get, you're like, well, I'm in transition, so I can have cheese this time. But the thing is with transition, a transition is a time of practice where you are practicing what you're going to do when you are a vegan. And eventually when you practice it enough, it just becomes your new reality. And that's the transition. It's not saying yes to things just because they're still there and you're trying to let them go. You're practicing being a vegan. So when you go to the restaurant, you sit down and when you order, you say, what would a vegan order? And that's where you get to practice making the choice, because it's not a daily choice right now. It's not your new routine. It's not your new habit. So the transition is basically a phase of practice. So practice being a vegan until it becomes your new reality, and then you just order vegan stuff because that's what you've been doing for the last however months, and it becomes your new reality. So careful with the word transition as well. And another one, self-love. I see this often, and I did this countless times when I was younger. I would use the term self-love to justify eating anything and everything because I loved myself, right? I wanted to treat myself. But what I didn't realize was that it wasn't a loving act, and it was keeping me in the vicious cycle. No matter how many affirmations I used, no matter what I was trying to do to create that self-love, it just wasn't working until I changed my diet. Focus on what you can have and not what you can't. Again, this is the power. Put the power back into yourself by focusing on what you can have and not what you can't, because not everyone's going to be able to get everything that everyone else can get. It really depends on where you live, but focusing on what you can have and the abundance that you are able to get is really going to free you. Focus on overall health and not weight loss. This one's a really big one too, because we are so obsessed with weight loss in our society, and it is healthy to lose weight if you need to lose weight. But don't focus on the weight loss because that can be discouraging for many people. Focus on your overall health. Focus on getting a wide variety of fruits and vegetables. Focus on staying low fat. Focus on exercising and getting better sleep. Focus on those things, and the weight loss will come if you need to lose the weight. Focus on the food as a gift and not the inconvenience to have to cook for others. This one is specifically for those who need to cook food for others. I know a lot of people say it's inconvenient because they have to now make 2 meals. And I felt like this too because I had a boyfriend for about 1.5 years before Nate, and I cooked a lot of his food. And it was inconvenient to make two meals, for sure. I'm not saying it isn't. But what I did was I focused on my food as me time. It was my special thing, a gift that I was giving to myself. I was going to make the food anyway for him. And if I wasn't raw, I would be making it anyway for me. So my meal is actually not an inconvenience adding it on. It's just a bonus gift that I'm giving to myself. And I just so happen to be also cooking something for him. Focus on hydration, not dehydration. So a lot of foods are dehydrating, especially really cooked foods and dried foods like crackers and chips and bread. Those are all very dehydrating on the body. And when you go to choose your meal, focus on hydration. Is this going to hydrate me or is it going to dehydrate me? Mandy is saying, I find it hard not to focus on weight loss. That's a really good point. It is hard. It is hard to not focus on weight loss because that's what we've been taught. And it's hard to get out of those habits and the belief patterns that we're grown up with, and we see it everywhere. And we might want to lose weight, but it really is all about overall health and taking the time, because you will wake up one day and potentially be 20 pounds lighter or 70 pounds lighter or however many pounds lighter because you made daily choices that were focused on your health. So just keep practicing. I know it's really difficult. Winter coming up, bundle up before your meals. I've got an ebook in the bundle. Again, the link is in the chat at the top. The bundle, I have a new ebook that I made. It's a mini ebook called Let It Snow. My first 5 years raw vegan were in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where it was very cold. So I wrote this book sharing some of my tips and tricks for the winter if anyone's interested. So focus on fiber and whole foods, not perfection. Fiber and whole foods are the main goal. The more fiber and the more variety we can get, the better things will be, in my belief. Focus on long-term benefits and not short-term gratification. It's very hard to get out of this one. Short-term gratification is something, again, that we're taught over and over and over again, but we need to focus on the long-term benefits of what we're doing. Focus on being the best version of you and not in competition with others who are perceived as more perfect, because we are all perfect in our own way. We are all imperfectly perfect, and it's not about being exactly like someone else, because you aren't them. You are you, and it's about being better than you were yesterday. So is there something that you could do better today than you did yesterday? Could you make better choices? Could you plan your day better? Are there things that you can do to just improve on yourself and not be in competition with others? You should just use others, like myself, for example, as inspiration to get you to where you want to go. Focus on daily gift of health and not the end of the week cheat days. This is a big one that I did so often. I would eat healthy all week or for a couple days, and then I would have my cheat day or my cheat meal at the end, and I was just cheating myself, really. I would eat so much on those days or on the one meal that I would allow myself to have, and then I would just go back to the restriction during the week, and it wasn't working. And it was, again, all things in moderation. It just wasn't helping my body. I had to release those. Again, cheat days are another diet advice that doesn't work on a raw diet. We have to stay low fat. When we start eating higher fat, even just for one meal, it can last in your body for up to 72 hours and interfere with insulin, which is what's going to get the sugar into your cells for energy. So you want to keep it low fat. Release those cheat ideas. The cheat days are just, it just allows us to continue doing the things that we've always done, and it's just a justification. So if you want, maybe at the end of the week, you make a new recipe, try a new raw recipe. There's over 1,000 brand new recipes in the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, and you could make a new recipe every single day for 3 years and still have countless more, right? So you're definitely going to have a lot of new recipes. So you could, at the end of the week, instead of doing a cheat day, maybe try some new recipes, make something different, have that day special for yourself to create. Focus on the experience, friendships, and ambiance, not the food you're eating at a social event. Big one here, and I learned this very well by going to social events. I would take my own food, or I would call ahead. I would get a big bowl of greens with some avocado dressing, or I would bring my own dressing in the beginning a lot of the time. And I would just enjoy the ambiance. I enjoyed my friends. I enjoyed just hanging out with them. But I also wanted to enjoy my health, so I brought my own stuff. And it's really a tough one. I could make a whole slide presentation on the social aspect, and maybe I will, but I know Chris Kendall's talking about it in a live. So we have a couple questions here. Did you take supplements or still take them? I do take B12 and vitamin D. B12 I take like a couple times a week. D I haven't been taking often because we're here in Vegas. Vitamin B12 and D are environmental vitamins. They're not diet vitamins. We're supposed to be getting them from our environment, not our diet. So everyone's trying to get these things from our diet, but we should just be outside in nature, digging in the soils. But if you're not, if you live in a city, you don't have access to a garden, that kind of thing, then take B12. It's not the end of the world. It's inexpensive. And also D, if you live really north or you're not able to go out in the sun every day for 20 minutes to make that vitamin D, then you can take a supplement. Again, environmental vitamins, not diet vitamins. It's not the vegan diet that's deficient, it's our lifestyles that are deficient. If you live in a city, if you live a modern life, don't have access to soils, that doesn't mean the vegan diet is deficient in B12, it means your lifestyle is deficient in B12. So yes, I do take those too. What do you do when you actually do slip up a couple days though? For the first 10 years of my raw journey from 2004 to 2014, I would slip up constantly. The thing is, slipping up is typically a sign that you're under eating. So make sure that you're going to really have to look at what you're eating and how much you're eating and when you're eating. Make sure that you're eating enough, because that's going to really help pretty much eliminate cravings for the most part. If you do slip up, definitely don't go on a fast or anything like that. Just get right back to what you're doing and focus on really high greens for the first couple days. And your fruit, you could focus on more berries and stuff like that, but don't undereat. Please don't undereat. Make sure that you get a lot of greens and a lot of fruit in there. So yeah, continuing on here, we've got focus on grocery stores and markets as your go-to places. So whenever we go to a new place, if we go on a little road trip or we take a little vacation somewhere, we always know that we can get all our food at a grocery store. So we find the grocery stores and we stock up there. When you're driving home from work and you're feeling like you're hungry because you haven't eaten since noon and it's 6 o'clock and you need something, instead of going to a drive-through, go to the supermarket, get some grapes, get some tomatoes or apples or something, go get some fresh food. The grocery store is your go-to for healthy raw foods. Focus on new traditions and new creations. Again, we need to evolve as a society, and traditions are beautiful things, but we can change them to make them work with our new lifestyles. Start the day right. Here we go. We've got starting the day right. So your day, you start your day the night before. Really, you want to start tomorrow today. So tonight, when you go to bed, have a little notepad on the side of your bed and plan out tomorrow, because a really successful day starts the night before. So if you want to start your day right, start it the night before. Plan your meals the night before. So grab your notepad and write down exactly what you're going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Since buying the bundle, by the way, Nate and I have been having a blast going through the bundle and choosing a breakfast, lunch, and dinner that we will make from the bundle so that we can share with all of you and just taste what other creators have made. So you can buy the bundle, the link is in the chat if you want, or just go online and search for some awesome raw food recipes and look for what you're going to make, depending on what you have in the fridge and that kind of thing. So write down what you're going to have for breakfast, write down what you're going to have for lunch, write down what you're going to have for dinner, and write down what you're going to have for snacks. Snacks should be fruit. So if you have grapes, then write that down. So you're going to have grapes between breakfast and lunch as your snack. You want to go to bed early, obviously. So if you need to prep work, you will be able to wake up earlier. Again, this is really tough, but you want to go to bed early. Then in your morning routine, you start on the right side of the bed. obviously, start with some meditation and go over your meals that you plan to have. When you write them down the night before, you get to sleep with those ideas in your head. So when you wake up, review what you're going to have during the day and also schedule when you're going to execute on these ideas, right? You want to take action. So you need to schedule that in too. Like from 6 until 6:30, I'm making my smoothie and the dressings for lunch and dinner. That's what I'm doing from 6 to 6:30, and write it in and schedule yourself in. Like, we go to work on time, so we should schedule in ourselves and really take that time. Practice gratitude. You could start the day with a 10-minute meditation, and then you could go through 10 minutes of gratitude. Go over your affirmations. Visualize how you want the day to go. Visualize drinking the smoothie. Visualize making the salad. Visualize making sure that you have a snack between lunch and dinner at work or something. Visualize driving home and getting ready for your dinner. Visualize this. It's really important. And then move if you're able to. If you're not able to, if you don't have very much time in the morning, maybe do some jumping jacks or some squats. Maybe do some light stretching if you want. Do some form of movement. And then stand in some power poses. So take up as much room as you can. Stand like a star or Superman. And look at yourself in the mirror and go over your affirmations. Tell yourself what you're going to do today. And today is your plan. You're going to take action and you're going to get it done. So this is one of my favorite subjects, the reward cycle. So the reward cycle, I love this topic. This topic is something that I hope everyone learns something from. In the chat here, we've got, yes, Chef AJ. So Chef AJ has contributed some video presentations to the bundle. There's 4 of them in there. They were valued at $79. So you're not only getting those, but you're getting over 50 ebooks in there as well for $50. So if you want to grab that, definitely. And Chef AJ has been interviewing a lot of us. We've been doing food demos on there, promoting the bundle and all the fun. I will be on Chef AJ's show on November 1st at 9 a.m. Pacific. We're going to be making the jalapeno poppers from my new party food ebook. So please join us there. It's going to be so much fun. I love Chef AJ. She's really great. So the reward cycle. We are reward-focused creatures. So when we make a choice, we make choices based on feelings and reward. That is how we make our choices in life. Long-term goal versus short-term enjoyment. So there are rewards for both. There's rewards for short-term enjoyment, and there's also rewards for long-term goals. It really depends on what reward that you are focused on. And it's really hard to focus on the long-term goal reward because the short-term enjoyment reward is so desirable. So one thing, we need to really feel the reward. What is the reward of the choice that we want? What is the long-term goal reward? And feel that. What do we do? What do we get out of choosing off course? So if you choose to eat a pizza, which is off course of your long-term goal because you want the short-term enjoyment, what do we get out of that? We get convenience, we get easy, tasty, fatty, dopamine. Maybe we're in a social situation, so we feel accepted, we feel satisfied, there's so many things like for that instant gratification reward. That's what we get out of choosing off course. But what do we feel when we choose a healthy option instead? And this is something that diet culture doesn't tell us necessarily to do. I don't see it very often. Normally we're told, think of all the bad things that you're going to feel when you eat the pizza. And we don't make a choice based on bad things. We make choices based on rewards. So we know we're going to feel horrible after eating a pizza. We know we're going to feel sluggish and tired, and some people are going to feel guilty and regretful after having the pizza. But that's not enough to deter us. We need a different reward because we choose based on reward and emotion. So what do we feel when we choose healthy options? So in the chat, post any feeling, whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever. Post in the chat what you feel like when you eat a really big, delicious, fresh, raw salad, or you have a big plate of fresh perfectly ripened mangoes, or you make yourself a delicious, sweet, perfect smoothie. What are some of the things that you feel? Post them in the chat. I want to hear what you guys say. What do you feel? Happy, satisfied. That's really good too. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Happy and satisfied. Hydrated, satisfied. Hopeful for the future. I love that one. Actualized. That's a good one too. These are really good, you guys. Nourished. I like that one. Definitely. So you want to feel these things. I like to feel empowered. I feel empowered. And yes, Kat says nurtured. I feel self-pride, right? It's okay to feel self-pride. It's okay to be proud of yourself for making a good choice. There's nothing wrong in that. Feel my mood boosted. I feel energized. I feel, we just got energized in there. Awesome. But these are things that we feel, and these are the rewards for making a healthy choice. So if you're craving a pizza, think of all these things. Really go into detail in your mind and really feel this. So craving a pizza, you say, if I choose something other than the pizza, I could feel happy, satisfied, hydrated, actualized, hopeful for the future, empowered, nourished, nurtured, energized. You'd feel all these things. You're like, I actually want that instead of the pizza. It sounds so much better, right? So we have to really think of what it is that we really want. Our focus is misguided. We're told to focus on the unwanted effects of unnecessary foods instead of the positive effects of healthy foods. Stop to recognize the root of the craving. This is a big one too. The roots of cravings are typically because you're not eating enough. So if you're not eating enough, you're going to have a hard time saying no at a party. If you're not eating enough, you're going to have a hard time only buying what you need at a grocery store. If you're not eating enough, it's going to be hard to stop at a grocery store instead of the drive-through when you're going home. If you are not eating enough, it's going to be hard to not make cooked food or order out or what have you when you get home after you haven't eaten in 6 hours. So it's really hard to make proper choices when you're hungry. It just boils down to that. We have a question here. When no organic is available, what do? I live in Northern City with food deserts, lots of convenience stores, less groceries. I do not eat all organic because I prefer getting variety. I strive to have as much organic as I can afford and I can find, but I do not put everything into organic foods because there's a lot of little farms out there that don't spray as much, but they can't afford to get the organic label. So if you're just buying based on the organic label, you're just buying from companies that are able to afford the organic label. So I prefer to eat as much variety as possible, and I know there's a lot of things out there that are not grown organically that are variety for my diet. I just don't like being placed in that box where I can only eat organic. I don't like that. I prefer to have the variety and the abundance while still eating as much organic as I can get. Like, for example, we just got a box of organic persimmons that John Kohler brought to us. He dropped them off last night just as a gift. There's probably 100 persimmons in that box. And they're organic, and they happen to be organic, so we're going to eat them organic, right? And when we go shopping, we'll sometimes buy organic stuff if we can, but a lot of the stuff isn't organic, but we buy it anyway because we want to stay raw, we want to have variety, and we want to be able to eat abundantly without breaking the bank or starving because we can't afford to have organic food. So, yeah, it's crazy to imagine affording the organic label. It's interesting because back in the day, I don't know how much it is now to get certified organic, but 20 years ago or 15 years ago, it was $100,000 to get the organic label to get certified, and you needed 7 years of proof that you didn't spray your crops. So a lot of little farms aren't able to do this, and I know a lot of farms at the market don't say they're organic because they can't claim organic. But when I talk to the growers, they're like, well, we don't spray, we just can't afford the organic label. So yeah, non-GMO definitely is more important, I think, than that. But most GMO crops, they have I believe it's a 4 or an 8. I think it's an 8 before on a 5-digit code where it's for GMO. So just try to avoid those ones that are 5 digits starting with an 8. But yeah, other than that, definitely focus on abundance and variety. And if it happens to be organic, then it's just a bonus. So make sure you're eating enough. Find the root cause of the craving. Some of the root causes of cravings are all stemming from not eating enough and stress, tired, bored, social situations. But if you eat enough, then it's easy to choose in those situations. Yeah, four digits is conventional. If they put a 9 in the front, so it's 5 digits, that's organic. If they put an 8 in the front and it's 5 digits, that's typically GMO. This is good stuff you're giving us, Lissa. Thanks for educating me. Aw, you're welcome. Thank you guys all for being here and supporting. So wonderful. John Kohler is a wonderful guy. He really is. We've become really great friends, him and I and Nate, and we've gone for a lot of hikes together. We've shared food. I went to his garden. I have some YouTube videos where we were in his garden trying some new stuff, so super cool. So let's move it on here. Turn cons into pros. So I'll go through these cons that I hear often and how you can turn them into a pro. Again, shifting the mind. These are mind hacks. You're shifting your beliefs around certain things. I have to shop more often. That is a con, for sure. We're going to need to shop more often when we are raw, but turn it into a pro and say, I love shopping more often because I get fresh food. I spend less money because I'm only buying what I need, and I get stuff that's in season or that's on sale right away. So it's okay to shop more often, definitely. I love having fresh stuff. I don't like buying raw foods and then like a week later or 7 days later, it's wilty, right? It's not as fun. Time consuming. A lot of people say that it's time consuming. And a cooked food diet, even a standard North American cooked food diet, can take a lot of time too. It's really not a lot of time to do raw. It's no different than any other homemade meal. So instead of saying that it's time consuming, think of it as a chance for you to meditate, practice self-love, and get into connection with the food that you're making. This is you time. The time that you spend with your food is you time. It's a beautiful time, and changing our shift over to that, it can be really, really helpful. I think it makes more sense to say language hack. Language acts like an input into the mind, and the language input change your mind. Yes, that's so true too. Yeah, what we say, but also we can say obsession, but it really is our perception behind the word that changes the word itself. So if you say you're obsessed with something, but you're obsessed with it because you're fearful of the opposite, then that's not necessarily healthy for the mind. But if you say you're obsessed with something and you're happy about it and it's healthful and positive, then that's a very different mindset to go with it. So yes, that's totally true. Language is really powerful, but also our perception around certain words. Social situations are too hard, Lissa. Well, to switch the mind on that one, focus on being the example and keeping the promise to yourself. You are being watched by those around you, and they see what you are doing. You'd be surprised at how many people get inspired but don't say anything. So if social situations are difficult for you, try to come at it as you're being an example. You're just showing them how to live a healthy lifestyle, even though you're not saying anything. Just your actions of doing it make a really big impact. Lissa, I'm always cold eating a raw diet. So this one, again, in my new ebook, Let It Snow, I talk about raw vegan in the winter for those who live in colder climates or who happen to be really cold all the time. Even in the summertime, I was always cold eating raw foods, and I had no idea why. I was like, it's hot outside. It's hot outside, and I'm trying, but it wasn't working. The thing was I was restricting my calories. When you restrict your calories, your body assumes starvation, famine, or hibernation style modes. So if you are not eating enough, your body's going to downregulate your metabolism and you are going to feel cold more often. People who have eating disorders like anorexia, for example, who are severely under eating in calories, tend to grow a lot of body hair because their metabolism is so low that they tend to get really cold. And a lot of them will always have like a boiling hot cup of water or drinking a lot of teas, that kind of thing, to warm themselves up because they're just not eating enough calories. And this can happen when you go raw because raw is so low in calorie, you have to eat a lot of food to get the calories in the body. So the more you eat, the more you burn. The more you eat, the more scheduled you eat. Like if you eat breakfast every morning at the same time, every lunch at the same time, trains your body that it can expect food, so it doesn't need to downregulate the metabolism, and you don't go into like a hibernation style state. So eat more so that you feel more full and you burn more calories. Because again, if you don't eat enough, it's like a furnace, right? A coal furnace. If you don't put coal in there, it's not going to burn. You have to constantly be putting coal in there for the flames to continue on. So same with our body, we need to eat food to keep our temperature up. A couple other tips. Use the Vitamix or a high-speed blender to blend on high for about 1.5 minutes to warm it up. Don't eat things right out of the fridge because those can be freezing cold on the body. Eat some spices, get some spices in your lifestyle. Like that's why chilies are so great, because they're super spicy and they stimulate circulation. Get exercising. If you're feeling cold, go do some jumping jacks. Let's see, what do we got? Some stuff in here. In the chat, what about eating sprouted raw grains and or legumes? Is that possible or desirable? I personally don't do grains. You could sprout them if you want to. I sprout lentils though. I do lentils, mung beans, chickpeas, speckled peas. And yeah, like for the lentils, we also do different varieties of lentils. So beluga lentils, red lentils, green lentils, all kinds of lentils. We try to eat as much variety of those as possible. We also sprout and grow microgreens. Again, Nate has a new ebook about growing your own microgreens and sprouts in your house. That's called Alive, and that's also available in the bundle. And let's keep going on here. It's boring, Lissa. If you feel it's boring, get creative. Try some new foods, get some new recipes, grab the bundle, because the bundle is loaded with brand new recipes from some of your favorites. The link is in the chat at the top, pinned to the top. So grab that bundle. It's only available till November 1st. There's over 1,000 recipes in there. So definitely enjoy that. Lissa, it's too expensive. Well, in this one, it's hard because it depends on where you're living. Obviously, different areas are going to have different costs for food and different availability, but do the best you can. And remember, you can either pay the farm now or pay pharma later. That's a quote that I resonate with a lot. I would rather take care of myself now than pay a lot of money later on down the road. So definitely focus on that and do what you can. Because again, if it's too expensive, get conventional produce. Don't buy all organic. I couldn't do all organic in Canada. I would have been spending like $1,500 a month on groceries just for myself if I bought all organic in Canada. Because a pint of cherry tomatoes was $7 when I could get 3 times that amount for $5 at Costco. And again, I'm not saying that organic isn't bad, but if you can't afford organic, I'd rather see people eat whole, fresh fruits and vegetables in abundance than to starve trying to eat organic. It's too much to eat, Lissa. This is one that I get often because my salads are so big. But this, again, is a product of our modern lifestyles. We are taught that we need to eat smaller portions, and we eat really fast. We eat lots of soft foods that are easy to swallow really quickly. And we're also on the go all the time, constantly. And this modern lifestyle just doesn't work with our bodies because we need to chew slower and we need to eat more whole, fresh foods to get enough calories. So to love eating, slow down and chew, take your time and really get into connection with your body. You're nourishing your body. So you can shift the focus a little bit on that one. Lissa, I can't get good fruit. I couldn't get good fruit in Canada. There were times where I did get good fruit, but it wasn't very often. So I focused on what was good. I had gratitude because really, I was in Alberta and I got bananas in the middle of winter. So I started practicing gratitude for what I was able to get instead of feeling down on myself that I couldn't get mangoes for $1. Oh man. Let's see what else we got here. There's a great app for saving on food called Too Good To Go. You can save a lot in most cities in Germany and do it in some in the US. That's cool. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. It smells so good, Lissa. Oh my gosh, when I go into a restaurant, it smells so good. What do I do? In this case, remember that 80% of the enjoyment of a meal is the smell. So when I was in Montreal, I would go for walks. I was in Montreal to get my fiance visa to move to the United States, and I would go for walks down main streets where they had lots of restaurants, and it smelled amazing. But when I was smelling it, I was like, I'm enjoying 80% of this meal right now. Because really, that's where the enjoyment is. So you can enjoy the smell if you find it enjoyable. Enjoy the smell and just eat your food, right? If you're full up, then the smell is just a smell. It's like an air freshener, and it might smell really good. So just enjoy it for what it is. And make sure you fill up, because that's the thing. A lot of people don't eat, and then they smell stuff and they start craving it hardcore because they haven't eaten. So again, it boils down to not eating enough. I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss cheese, and I'm gonna miss this, and I'm gonna miss that. Well, it's a new adventure, new memories, new traditions that you're embarking on. It's okay to miss the old stuff, but don't live in that missing, right? We can remember things. For example, I like to think of things as discontinued items, right? Like if some company discontinued your favorite product that you buy every month, and all of a sudden you can't get it anymore, you're gonna move on, right? You're gonna look back and be like, oh, that was really cool when I had that thing, or it was really nice when I was eating that stuff. But now I'm focusing on a new adventure. I'm moving forward. I'm gonna find new favorites. I'm gonna find so many new favorites and new traditions. It's gonna be so great. Rabbit says, whenever I smell things like pizza, I tell myself that's the addiction talking. It's okay to smell the pizza and just enjoy it for what it is. Really, you really need to remember to fill up, because I mean, in the beginning I felt that it was very addictive, but now I feel that it really is just your perspective of it, and I've grown a lot in that, and that's totally definitely a topic for another day for sure. Yeah, awesome. So what else? I'm stressed out and I deserve pizza. Well, if you're stressed out, you actually deserve fruit, obviously. So you're totally okay to be stressed out and say you need something. For example, if you come home from work and you had a really bad day and you're like, oh, I'm so stressed out, I just want to put a pizza in the oven because I deserve it. Just change the pizza to something raw. You can still feel all the other emotions. You can be like, oh, I'm so stressed out. I deserve that new raw salad that I've been eyeing. I deserve it. So really, it's just changing what you deserve, because you really do deserve something healthful. Be self-empowering. Refocus and go over your reasons. Again, over and over and over. Keep going over your reasons why. The 3 keys to success: planning, consistency, and patience. If you plan your day, and if you stay consistent, and you have patience, then you can create new habits. You are important and deserving of change. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of others, because if you don't take care of yourself, it's very hard to be of service to others. Create strong daily habits by planning, being consistent, and being patient. That is what creates good daily habits. You gotta plan and you gotta schedule in those new habits, because it's going to be really hard. You're going to be battling your old habits. So plan and schedule those new ones in. Be gentle with yourself along the way, and don't forget to balance all other aspects of health. It's not just about diet. Yes, those grapes, aren't they beautiful? Those grapes were from Portland, Oregon. We went up to Portland, and the grape display at the market was just mind-blowingly beautiful. So yeah, don't forget to focus on balance of all other aspects of your life and your health. So good sleep, sun exposure, go out in nature, calm yourself, practice yoga or relaxation, move, clean up your relationships, work on your relationships, maybe get a new job if you feel like that's being really stressful for you. Try to make as many changes as you can in your health aside from just diet, and be love. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. If you have questions, we will answer them. So you can find me on Instagram at Raw Food Romance, and here on YouTube, obviously. Give me a subscribe if you enjoyed this. Grab the bundle if you enjoyed this. Check out what other things we have going on in the bundle. There's also live events happening every single day. So yeah, hey, I'm back. Thank you again for joining so much. I love you guys. Anna says, my mother lost her sense of smell after a COVID infection, and now she mostly only tastes sweet, sour, hot, not the actual taste of something. That's really interesting. Smell does do a lot. Can you talk about designing the ultimate raw kitchen? Ooh, that's a fun question. So for one, you're gonna need a few things that I feel are essential in a good raw kitchen. Number one would be a high-speed blender. And now Nate and I have been using a vacuum blender for the last, I would say, almost 2 months, maybe about a month and a half. We will never go back to regular blending, ever. The vacuum blender is game changing, I swear. So it's like going from a $30 cheap Walmart blender to a Vitamix. It's like going from a Vitamix to a vacuum blender. Vacuum blending is next level. You're not oxidizing your food, so there's more nutrition in there. It preserves better. You can blend it under vacuum and seal it under vacuum, and you can have a fresh dressing after even like 4, 5, 6, 7 days. It's still fresh. It still tastes like you just blended it because you're not oxidizing it. Also, you're not blending a bunch of air into your dressing, which can cause gas and bloating. And it's really interesting because it doesn't matter how clean your diet is, simply changing how you blend can dramatically reduce gas in your body. Because when you're drinking these smoothies and dressings and soups that have all this air blended in, it's gonna come out the other side. So, so blending without the air bubbles, blending under vacuum is so amazing. And you can get that blender in the US, discountjuicers.com. That is John Kohler's website, and he sells the BioChef attachment for the Vitamix. So if you have a classic Vitamix base, not the Accent series or anything with a sensor, it doesn't work on those ones, but the classic Vitamix base, you can probably find them for $100 on Craigslist or Marketplace or something. Get that base, you buy the BioChef, the jug with the lid and the vacuum. And those three fit on the Vitamix, and it's game changing for sure. Other things that we love in the kitchen are really sharp knives and a knife sharpener. We haven't spent hundreds of dollars on our knives. We have cheap $20 knives from Bed Bath & Beyond. We really didn't spend a lot on those. It's really in the sharpening. So get a good sharpener so that you can sharpen your knives every week or so to keep them nice and sharp. I love flexible cutting boards. Those have been amazing because you can chop on them and lift them up and then just pour it into your bowl. I love those ones, and they're really easy to travel with. What else? I like a spiralizer. A spiralizer is a really great tool to create different shapes out of your fruits and veggies. Like cucumber noodles are by far my favorite. And then a dehydrator. A dehydrator is a fun thing to add to your kitchen. It's not necessary, but it allows you to make so many different things. A lot of stuff that's in the bundle does use a dehydrator, like my party food ebook. I use the dehydrator for a lot of those recipes. It just changes the texture because it takes some of the water out of it. So you want to make sure to drink more water when you're eating dehydrated foods, but they are still considered raw if you dehydrate under 115 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's what I would say would be the best for a raw kitchen. Make sure you have big bowls. I like to use wooden utensils like wooden forks and wooden spoons. And those are all great options for a raw kitchen. Let's see, we have any other questions in here? I need to look into the vacuum attachment for the Vitamix. Yeah, definitely. It's discountjuicers.com. Search for the BioChef. BioChef, that's the one that we have. The BioChef is $180 as the attachment, and Nate and I are actually going to buy another one as backup because we're like, if this one ever breaks, We don't want to go back to the original way of blending ever. The only thing that we make in the old Vitamix jug is nice cream, because you need to use the tamper to get the nice cream into the blades. You can't do that under vacuum, so that's the only thing that we make that isn't under vacuum. Everything else, our smoothies, our sauces, our dips, our dressings, our soups, the bases for chilies and stews and all of that, it's all under vacuum, and the texture changes, the taste is like more intense because you're not tasting a bunch of air, you're actually tasting the food. It's so much better. Hey everyone! Vacuum attached to Vitamix or different blender? You can get a different blender as well. Yeah, you can. There are different ones. There's a Dynapro one. John Kohler recommends other ones as well, but he recommended to us to get the BioChef because it fits on our Vitamix. I think you can put things through a sieve to cut down on the air. No, the thing is when you blend it in the blender, it's blending the air into it. You have to blend it under vacuum to prevent that. It really makes a massive difference. And you could strain out, but you would just be straining out the water. Does it work with the Vitamix 1? I'm not sure which one that is. If it has a sensor or if it's the Accent series, it won't work on those ones. So you could ask John Kohler, you could message him and see if it does. I'm not sure though. I've heard that ceramic is best for knives. Yeah, if you want to do ceramic knives, we don't, but ceramic knives are definitely a great option. I saw that Chris had a commercial rack refrigerator with totally glass door. Ooh, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. Ooh, yeah, the pepper nori sticks, dehydrated. Yeah, if you want to make stuff like that, you need a good dehydrator. I have an Excalibur 9 tray. I like the Excalibur because the trays pull out, because I want to sometimes have more space between the trays. A stacking dehydrator, I would never use a stacking dehydrator ever again, because there just isn't enough space for stuff. And with trays that you can pull out, you can put a whole bowl in there, or you could put taller things like mini mushrooms. You could make thicker stuff. It's just better if the trays are able to be pulled out. But yeah, thank you everybody so much for joining me for this live. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed hanging out with you. I will be live on my Instagram later today in about almost 2 hours, like I would say, 2 hours, at 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. I will be live with Aga on my Instagram, and Nate is doing a whole bunch of lives. He's got a grow along going on, so follow him over there for that. I love the trays. I have the Sedona Express. The smaller trays fit a normal sink. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. Any option for the Tri-Best nut milk makers? I'm not sure. I don't make nut milk, so that one is definitely not a question that I can answer. Check out John Kohler's website because he's got all kinds of gadgets and stuff on there. But yeah, so thank you again for joining. And if you want to support us, grab the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. It's over 50 ebooks, over 1,000 brand new recipes, including the exclusive bundle-only holiday ebook, which is a collector's edition only available in the bundle. Grab the bundle and come check out all our lives, because we're doing lives all the way up until the end of November 1st. The bundle ends November 1st at midnight Pacific, so you have until then to grab the bundle, and the bundle will never be the same. These books will never be all together the way they are in a bundle. This is a one-time deal. The next bundle will be totally different. We will have different things in the next one. So if you like this one, go grab it. The link is in the chat. Love the bundle and the live so much. Thank you, Anna. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much. I am going to sign off. Going to go eat some lunch before my next live, and I will see you all soon. I'm going to do more of these lives, I think. You guys want me to do more of these? Because I think it's great. I would really like to do more of these, maybe different topics and maybe just Q&As or what have you. But if you guys want me to do more lives, let me know, and I'll do more of them. But until then, hope you guys have a wonderful time, and as always, fruit on. Mwah!